Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It's good to see everybody. Welcome to Medical Qigong class. My name is Mary Frances, and I am one of Henry Jun Wadley's students. Let's go ahead and get started with our warm-ups. Opening up, feet are hip width, shoulder width apart. We're going to work on our tapping exercise today. So first, we're just settling into the space. Settling into the moment. Tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. We're breathing in and out through the nose. And then with the right hand in a loose fist, we're going to start tapping 3 to 4 finger breaths beneath the belly button. The lower dantian. As we're tapping, we're connecting the mind intent, the mind's eye, with where we're activating, helping to relax the tissues, open up the channels, facilitate greater qi and blood flow. Wiping out anything you don't need or want, letting it go into the earth. And switching sides. Widening the stance so that we can then open up the channels in the lower half of the body, first tapping the inner thigh and then up at the hip. Relaxing the shoulders, the elbows, and the wrists, allowing the momentum to be the motivating force with the tapping. And then transitioning. Once you get to the hips and the glutes, sliding that left foot a little closer to the right, maintaining that hip width, shoulder width distance, so you can relax into the stance and still feel stable. And then backing off the force of the tapping, coming up to just underneath the rib cage. Waking up the tissues in the low back, saying hello and good morning or good evening, depending on when you see this, to the kidneys and the kidney energy. Placing the palms at the low back, circling down the sides and up the spine. Before then resting the palms at the low back, closing the eyes. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the low back, allowing it to fill up with energy. And then exhaling, allowing that energy to flow to wherever it's needed within the body. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the kidneys, allowing them to fill up with energy. And exhaling, allowing that energy to flow freely to wherever it's needed. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Allowing the mind to relax. Allowing the body to relax. And allowing the chi to flow freely to wherever it's needed within the body. Opening the eyes, letting the arms come back down to the sides, and closing. We're working on our Golden 8 series today. Our lung and large intestine exercise is first. Reach for happiness. Inhaling. And exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Transitioning into your own pace. Getting ready to close. Closing. our Archer exercise for the heart and small intestine. Inhaling, exhaling, in and out. Getting ready to close. Closing. Spleen and stomach between heaven and earth. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. Finishing up. And closing. Our Sanjiao and pericardium exercise. Turn and look back. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Getting ready to close. Closing. Liver and gallbladder twist and release. Inhaling. And exhaling. In. And out. Getting ready to close. Closing. Our kidney urinary bladder exercise, bend for help. Inhaling. And exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. In. Out. Inhaling back to the start. Getting ready to close. Closing. Our energy punch for the Ren channel. Inhaling. Exhaling. In and out. Inhaling. And exhaling. Getting ready to close. Closing. Our energy jump. Our energy jump for the dew channel. Opening. 2 parts. Inhaling and exhaling. Transitioning to part 2, inhaling as the arms come up, exhaling as they come down. Closing. Keeping the feet together, bringing the palms together. Bringing some warmth and some energy to the palms so that we can then transfer it to the face. Nine times. Wiping the brow and underneath the eye, 9 times. Wiping up and down the nose, 9 times. And then circles, lower, middle, upper aspects of the nose, inward and outward. Just underneath the pupils at the cheekbone, in and out 9 times. Dredging the channels of the scalp. Beating the drum. And grasping the ears. Popping the cork. uniting the Ren and the Du channel in and out. And massaging the jaw 9 times each side. Our number changes to 12 times total, 6 times each side, brushing down the throat. And then down the breastbone. Circling up the right and down the left 9 times. Starting to gather the energy into the lower dantian. And then switching directions. Concentrating the energy. Caramelizing the energy. Once you get to 9, resting the palms at the lower dantian, closing the eyes. Inhaling through the nose, guiding the breath in the chi to the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, allowing this energy to settle and store so that you may use it throughout the rest of your day. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Allowing the mind to relax into the breath. Allowing the breath to relax the body. And allowing all that wonderful chi that you've been cultivating over the past half hour to settle and store so that you may use it throughout the rest of your day. Thank you so much, everyone. Henry, we are ready for our Chi Chat.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. It's Monday. Wow, June gloom is still in effect here. So it's a little gloomy out, but know that above the mountains, in the mountains, it's sunny. How do I know? I was up there last night. I was up in Mount Wilson, and you get above the clouds, and you can see the Milky Way. And so if you ever get a chance to go up there, I know it's late at night, but it's really an amazing sight because the clouds come in and they block out a lot of the city lights, so it gets much darker than it normally does when LA is clear. And this is the Milky Way season, so the Milky Way is out in other parts of the world, everywhere where it's dark enough. But in LA, we typically aren't able to see the stars, let alone the Milky Way. So I took the opportunity because we need to have those inversion type clouds to really block those crazy lights that we have all over the city. Okay, so anyway, back to topic. We've been talking a lot about the different elements, the 5 elements, and how they relate to the face and how that energy is expressed through our face. So previously we talked about wood, and the wood areas of the face being more related to the eyes, the eyebrows, brow bone area. Then we looked at fire being the tips of all the features, right? So looking for the little peaks that we may have, as well as the tip of the nose, and of course the spirit of the eyes. That's where fire tends to reside. And so today we're gonna move on to look at, get some impressions and some ideas of earth. How does earth manifest on the face? So earth, as you may know from a previous talk, is kind of the more fleshy, like whereas fire is more the peaks, we look at the more fleshy features of the face, things that are more than full. Full tends to be more water, but fleshy, like you can really pull, okay, that tends to be more earth in nature. Okay, so you can see I have some fleshy things, like my nose, my lower cheeks are a little fleshy. Even my chin a little bit on the chin. Okay, so we look at also areas mouth, right? Remember that earth is related to the organs of the spleen and stomach, very much related to our digestive system. So we eat, it's necessary that we have to go through the mouth, right? Eat or drink. And so this part, the mouth area, we relate to earth energy. Also the chin is related to earth energy. And I remember the emotions of earth is about worry and sympathy. But we look at, technically those are the emotions. We look at, you know, people who have that gift of being able to take care of others, who care for other people, like make sure their needs are met, kind of the classic Mother Earth type personality. So we look at someone who is often more worried about other people more so than themselves. But a more balanced Earth is one who's able to find that balance between also taking care of themselves and being who they are. So that's the important part, especially with the chin, is we look at will. Okay, will is a very important aspect of Earth. We look at Earth, you know, part of that is being stubborn. Like think about like a mountain that can't be moved. So you think about like a very strong Earth energy and someone who's very stubborn. And that can be good and bad, right? Because you want someone who really knows who they are, who really have strong opinions, and really will stand their ground, especially when it comes to protecting other people. And so that chin area is a lot about, are you willing to live life according to your own terms? So someone who has a very strong chin has that gift of really willing to live their life according to their own terms. So does that mean that everyone who has that chin does that? No, okay? Just because you have a gift doesn't mean you use it. So it could be, you know, something that perhaps from the parents or something they learned, and that's why they're not using the gifts. But this area is a gift if you have that strong, prominent chin, like really strong energy in here, okay? So, you know, not so easily swayed. So those are some of the characteristics of that strong chin. Regarding the mouth area, we look at personality, we look at communication, okay, because we don't just eat and drink through the mouth, okay, we also communicate through the mouth, you know, through words. We communicate through our eyes as well, but that's very more nonverbal. The spirit of the eyes communicate. But the mouth communicates through words. So it's more of a tangible and physical type of communication. So this area is about expressing personality, expressing who you are. Are you willing to, so the chin is about willing to live life according to your own terms. Mouth is more about expressing your personality to the world. So having that gift of perhaps having a like a wider mouth or a fuller mouth tends to give you that gift of, you know, that comes easier for you than for other people. So versus someone who may have a smaller mouth, and when we're talking about small or large, we're talking about relative to our face. Okay, for example, does my mouth seem like average according to my face, or does it seem small compared to my face, or does it seem large compared to my face? So that would be a question to ask when you say, is it, because oftentimes we get a little bit confused. It is relative to other features on your face. So that's how we are able to help determine that. Okay, so personality is very important, as well as sensuality and sexuality as well. Because, you know, we kiss, and that's through the lips. So that's another thing that we look at too, is that communication as well. So let's look at some faces so that we get some ideas of how different chins look, how different mouths look, as well as just elements, just to give you a little bit of a review. Because of course, you're not going to see anyone who's just one element. You're going to see a combination of things on the face, and it's those little combinations that make up who we are uniquely. Okay, so let me go ahead and share some of those photos today. All right. Okay, so hope you can see this okay. So you can see her face. She has a very strong chin, very prominent. Okay. Other features that you see really that is very prominent, jumps off at you, is the spirit of her eyes, like that sparkle. So she has, in this case, she has a lot of strong earth energy, especially in her lower, that chin area, very strong. And she has good fire energy. You can see it in her eyes. You can see it in her smile. Okay. You can see it also around those lines around her eyes, that some of them tend to go up. Okay. So let's go ahead. All right. So this is another picture with some strong earth features. You can see again, like very prominent chin, and also like just lower area, fleshy nose. You also see a lot of wood in this person. Okay, the brow bone areas are prominent. Also very full eyebrow, so strong gift of passion and also anger. Okay, it's good wood energy. Okay, so you see in her face, also like her chin is more of a fire chin. Okay, but she has a lot of fire on her face. You can see it in her eyebrows, you can see it in her eyes, you can see it in her smile, especially those smile lines. You can see her ears a little bit pointy, so you can see that fire expressing. And her chin is more fire. You can see the energy more going more like that, but also very prominent chin. Okay, and this face has more of that classic wood. Okay, remember that rectangle face? Okay, longer than it is wide. But he also has, when you look, you can see like, you know, like his eyes look actually a little bit small on the face, but relative to that, his chin looks bigger on his face than on the other faces that we've seen. Like very strong energy here, but also in the jaw area. Okay, this was that set of the jaw. So this would be more, what comes off to me is more of earth and wood energy prominent on his face. Okay, and in her, we see a lot of fire. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention the sides of your mouth. Okay. So pessimist, optimist. Okay. Are you glass half full or glass half empty? Okay. So people who tend to have a little bit more of the upturn sides, more optimistic, versus a little bit more downturn or neutral, tends to be a little bit more realistic or pessimistic. And it's not a bad thing to be pessimistic, okay? It's not a bad thing to be optimistic, some of you who are pessimists, right? But it's more about, you know, how you see life, and by default, what is your tendency to believe? But of course, it can also be like, you know, left and right. If you have more of that upturn on your right side, it's how you appear to the world. You tend to appear more optimistic than you perhaps feel inside. Versus if you have more of that upturn on the left, that would be more of how you see yourself. Like internally you're more optimistic, but maybe you don't appear so to the outside world and how other people relate to you. Okay. And you can see, again, she has a lot of strong earth energy here in that chin area, that lower cheek area as well. But her mouth is looking relatively smaller on her face compared to some of the other mouths that we've seen. Okay, like for example, hers has a very wide mouth, larger mouth. His is a little bit smaller side. This is like medium, okay? Tends to be a little bit small, but you can see the line goes out a little bit wider, so it is actually more of a wide mouth. Again, a little bit wider. So gives you just a little bit of comparison and contrast. So you can see the different types of faces out there that exist in all of us, okay? All right, so that's Earth. Give you a little bit overview of how Earth shows up on the face. And we'll talk about metal the next time. Thank you so much for joining us.